Are you excited to be in the house of the Lord? It was Psalms chapter 11, verse 3. The Bible says, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Okay, let's go to Psalms chapter 118, verse 22. Psalms chapter 11 is asking us, when the foundations shake, what should the righteous do? It means that when foundations shake, there is something that the righteous can do. And that's what we want to do. Now, I wanted the word cornerstone because it has a mark in the Jewish culture of building, that before you do any other thing, you must have a cornerstone in the Jewish setting. Therefore, whatever you build is determined by the cornerstone. So the Bible says that the stone which the builder refused became the headstone of the corner. Praise the Lord. Ephesians 2:20. He says, now therefore, for through him we both have access by the Spirit, capital S, and the Father. Now therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God. He says, and you are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone. When the foundations of the righteous are shaken, the answer leaves any other thing and comes to the cornerstone. And the cornerstone is the true foundation of the foundation. There are messages that are foundational, but there is what we call the cornerstone. Therefore, in the message of our dispensation, we are handling the cornerstone. Now, we are going to go to the book of Jonah, chapter 2, verse 8. Say, they that observe, I want you to mark the word observe. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. One of the pillars of a righteous living, one of the pillars of salvation, one of the pillars of a minister is mercy. But the Bible says if you're a minister, if you're a child of God, and you observe lying vanities, you are not the liar, but you're observing liars, and you're not part of their life. But the mere fact that you're observing lying, forsake your own mercy. It means that it is equated to sin if you observe liars and you let the world get lied. When the gospel got a foundation in Uganda, it was not about the law, nor the grace. It was about God. But in the 1970s, the gospel got mixed, not just politics, but with white men and the church. But in those days, revival had shifted. Revival had shifted from Western countries to African countries. Now, the first struggle was not among doctrine. The first struggle was among white people. Omuzungu wange, temukada omuzungu wange, toyogera na muzungu wange. And the message changed. Men compose themselves to what other men want to hear. And the authentic message that had caused a revival in the land was quenched day by day. So the first destruction of revival from the year 1970 down were the white men that came and left the church. Men lost God and they got themselves. Sermons were about men. Men could not preach anymore but tell stories. Naye netumala netubagwamu. Bwe twabagwamu ne bakyusa message okuva ku ticket nedda ku tteeka. Because men have defiled the law of God, they came up with their own law that looks like the law of God. They are telling you of themselves, but calling themselves God. A man teaches you about spiritual fatherhood just to make sure you enter his personal prison. Every man who landed into their message became a prisoner of a message. Men defiled the message up to showing men that they will be cast if they do contrary to what they say. And they channeled the message from the authentic sermons to their personal benefits. And before we knew, they became the leaders of leaders. And from that time, struggle came. But in the process, came men and they started ministering the message of the grace, from whence I'm established. However, the message of the grace was enticed and it ended up making God a houseboy. When a message makes God a man, that is a small God. And it calls men according to the grace.